Hello, 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 hello. I am back. Hello. All right. Anyway, sorry about that last one. I kind of knew that was going to happen because I've seen it happen to people all the time. But because I was watching the Exorcist trailer and sharing it, they cut the live stream for copyright material. And it's just like, I'm giving you free promotion of this shitty movie and you cut me live, who is just like some asshole dude talking about movies. It's free advertisement. So anyway, like I was saying, sorry about that, everybody. But um, I thought the trailer looked. They cannot stop us. Now my fucking YouTube account will probably get suspended, which will be really funny. It looked okay, and like I guess when it comes to that movie, um, I don't know what more I could possibly have asked for. Like it looked decent. It looks like it'll be like whatever. But like David Gordon Green and Blumhouse, their track record is not good. All their movies are kind of shitty or at least okay at best. That being said, like I said earlier, all of the Exorcist movies and Exorcist franchise movies have all been okay at best, mostly shit. With this, it's like, did Danny McBride write this one? Like, ugh. Anyway, fuck Universal for cutting that, by the way. It looked okay. It looked better than people let on. Now, I won't make the same mistake. I was also going to do like a kind of watch along of the new Saw trailer that came out last night. Now, I watched it last night when I was half asleep, and I was just kind of like, oh, it looks like a fucking Saw movie. That's another franchise where it's just kind of like, I don't know. All those movies are whatever. They're fine. You know what you're going to get from a Saw movie. Don't mind me. Oh, God, I can't believe the stream got cut. Who cares? Let's see. Uzi says Universal Comcast knows what it is and don't want people to see it. Yo, honestly, it seems that way, right? Now, Saw X is the new Saw movie. I've kind of been whatever on all the Saw movies. Like I was saying in the last stream early on, I worked at a movie theater in 2006, I think 2006, 2007, when I think the third one was playing. And I kind of watched that one to death, but I actually learned to really like that one because of it from watching it so many times. They also killed Tobin Bell off in the third one. So like the fact that they just kept making these movies and this character Jigsaw has been dead, it was just like, what? You guys are just grasping for straws. But people kept going to see him, myself included, unfortunately. But after part 7, the final chapter, when they wrapped up the whole Jigsaw thing, they did another one a few years later called Jigsaw. That was supposed to take place before any of the movies, apparently. That was shit. What was it, like 2 or 3 years ago? They did the one with Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson. That was okay. Spiral, right? I think it was called Spiral. It's just they're all the same, It's like, oh, you're gonna learn your lesson, so you're gonna cut off like a part of your fucking rib cage and get this key. Yeah, Jigsaw was Planet of Ass. One of the more terrible ones. Excuse me. For anyone that ever asks, it's just non-alcoholic beer. I haven't drank a beer in like a year and a half. But Spiral was okay. It was just like more of the same old shit. That's like, oh, it's not like Billy the Puppet anymore. It's this little pig man that because this guy hates cops. But the trailer for Saw X now, what it is it just looks like a regular old Saw movie. But this one apparently takes place between Saw 1 and Saw 2. And if you're a fan of the Saw movies, the story revolves around Tobin Bell as Jigsaw, a killer who has cancer. And his way of getting revenge on all the people who have like wronged him or have not helped him treat his cancer is to put them into these elaborate traps as a means of, you have to You have to essentially hurt yourself in order to survive. It's kind of fascinating, but it's just been it's beating a dead horse at this point, you know. The fact that this takes place between 1 and 2 is kind of interesting to me. Like there's a little cameo of Amanda in the trailer as well. It's just like Tobin Bell looks so old in the trailer. It's like this is supposed to be between 1 and 2. He looks 15 years older because he actually is fucking 15 years older. I don't know. The trailer was fine. I would have liked to watch it along with you guys just so I could remind myself. But it's just more of the same shit. It's like, you know, hey, dig into your brain and take out a piece of your brain and put it in this little petri dish to get the key out, and then you'll be able to survive. But this one revolves around, I guess he went to Mexico to get like a weird treatment for his cancer, and they never removed the tumor. So it's about him getting revenge on these people who essentially have like sentenced him to death. All right, what's Uzi got here? Yeah, the problem with those cameos, I'm like, who is this supposed to be? That was so many movies ago, dude, for real. And then like the whole, you know, the guy taking over. I forget his name because anything after part 3, I just thought was just terrible. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But it's just like, why am I supposed to care about this guy? Like, I like Jigsaw as a killer. I thought it was an interesting new kind of maniac, you know. But like every good idea, they milk it to death. Like kind of like what they're doing with X and Pearl these days. It's like X was awesome. And when I heard that they filmed Pearl at the same time, I was kind of excited about Pearl. I was like, well, that's cool. They made it at the same time. They didn't know if X was going to do well. And now it's like, before Pearl even came out or something, they had like a trailer came out for the third one, Maxine. Granted, I like X and I liked Pearl. I like X a lot more than Pearl. But look what they're doing to this even already. You know, it's like, let's milk it to death before it's even had a chance to get legs and find an audience. But whatever. I'm more interested in that than seeing a new Saw movie is the point I'm getting at. But like Saw, they're already milking this X, Maxine, and Pearl kind of thing already. But I think if given the choice between the two of the new Exorcist movie and Saw, I'd probably rather watch the Saw movie because I know what I'm getting from it. You know, it's like, I don't know if I'll go see it in the theater, but it's like, oh, it's a Saw movie. With Exorcist, like, I almost am a glutton for punishment and like would see it just because I know how bad it's going to be. I hope I'm wrong. I always hope I'm wrong. I go in with such low expectations these days. All right. What else did I want to talk about? So I talked about Sisu in the last video. I talked about 65. Now I am going to share my screen again, but it is not going to be a fucking trailer or another video. It's literally just going to be a picture. So hopefully I don't get dinged for fucking sharing this. So if you're a collector of like physical media, obviously, just a moment. There was like a couple like really big announcements lately. For me, I am a fucking huge Hellraiser fan. Like I'm talking mostly like 1 through 3, and Bloodline's pretty cool. But let me just add this to the stream real quick. There we go. Okay. So Arrow just announced that they're going to do this huge set of Saw 1 through 4, which I think I brought mine out. Oh yeah, here. A few years ago, they did the Scarlet box that everyone, you know, went out of print and everyone went crazy for. And this is amazing. Like, I'll never sell this. But when they announced this one, I was like, well, shit, I'm going to probably have to pre-order this. So I did. But what's cool about this one that I don't hear a lot of people talk too much about is that the Scarlet box only had 1 through 3, which is fine. To me, oh my God. She's going to get me dinged too. Hold on one sec. Let me X this bullshit out. Boop. Boop. All right. So, what's cool about this is it's got not only 1 through 3, but it also has Bloodline. Now, in reading like what the special features and shit that are on this, it's not gonna, there's gonna be a couple new interviews and stuff, couple new commentary tracks, which is like I honestly I don't really listen to commentary. I'll watch bonus features from time to time. And why I like the Scarlet Box so much is that it had that documentary Leviathan on it about the first 2 movies. This new one, apparently doesn't have that, but I had to get it because it is coming with the work print of Hellraiser Bloodline, which is Hellraiser 4. And Hellraiser Bloodline notoriously was like cut to death by the studio, which if you're watching this and like are a fan of horror movies, you already know this. But it's going to have the work print in there. And like, I don't care if there's going to be like unfinished like CGI or like visual effects shots in there. I want to see it because apparently it's so insanely different from the movie that we got with Bloodline. Who even directed? Kevin Yeager, right? Yeah, like, so I have this old DVD. I never like upgraded it from DVD because like, honestly, I don't know. Anything after part 3 to me was always whatever. But anyway, was sharing along some information for anyone who maybe didn't know this was coming out. I would suggest pre-ordering this because this shit is going to be gone. It'll be gone. And also, if you want to avoid the import fees, do it through like Diabolic or Orbit DVD while they still have them, because you'll just pay regular shipping price instead of ordering it directly from Arrow. But anyway, blah, blah, blah. I'm going on forever about nonsense. Okay, remove. All right, I'm back in full screen for no reason. Okay, let's see. Let's see what Uzi was saying. For me, hurting the Saw franchise isn't as important as hurting the Exorcist franchise. So I don't feel as bad seeing a shitty Saw movie. Dude, that's exactly it. It's like the Saw movies are what they are. With Exorcist, it's like every movie's been so bad. The Saw movies are all the same. So it's like if you like it, you're going to probably like the new one too. Let's see. What else did you say? Now Arrow Video is going to be out there going, how dare you advertise our product? Yeah. Watch me get shut down for Arrow for giving them essentially free money to the people that'll probably be like, ooh, I'll buy that. But anyway, that I had to buy that day one because I know it's going to sell out before it even hits streets, like the Arrow, that one that came out with the Empire of Screams. I didn't pull the trigger. Can't get my hands on it now. They're also putting out like Psycho 1 through 4 on 4K, which is awesome. I'm not a huge fan of the Psycho movies. Like, I like them, but I don't need them on 4K. I just bought like a cheap Blu-ray set, and that works fine for me. What else? Last night, I think it was Scream Factory. One sec. Uzi says, the good thing about 4K is that it is region free. Exactly. And that's why I pulled the trigger on the UK Hellraiser set. It's like, apparently Scream Factory's been like locking some of them from what I've heard. Granted, that doesn't affect us because we live in America. So it's locked in region A, which wouldn't be a problem for us, but for anyone in like the UK and stuff, they'd have a lot of problems trying to play it if they didn't have a region free player, which is like, if they're region free, like to start out, like why lock them? Why sell less product? Doesn't make sense to me. And I'm not a fucking salesman. But last night, Scream Factory announced that they were doing Night of the Demons on 4K. I really like the original Night of the Demons a lot. I don't think I'll upgrade it just because it's like, I don't know. This looks fine. I don't have a problem with this. But to me, the big announcement was that they were doing part 2 and part 3 on Blu-ray. Now, I probably won't do part 2 because this already came out and this looks fine to me. I got this. Who did this? Oh, Olive Films. Rest in peace. Oh, so they went out of business. But this looks fine. Night of the Demons 2 is a great sequel, I think, as far as sequels are concerned. Like, this one's almost like more fast-paced and entertaining than the original one. But yeah, I probably won't buy the Scream Factory version of this because this works for me. And why buy two of the same movie if it's the same format? Like if it was upgraded, maybe I'd consider it, but no. So Uzi says, Mrs. Uzi really likes Night of the Demons. She was going to kill me if I gave it less than 4 rating on Letterboxd. Fair enough. I understand if the people that don't like Night of the Demons, it's not as advertised, I would say. If I could give my thoughts on it, like I like it just because it's almost like batshit crazy. Like it's just essentially these possessed people chasing the same girl around a house for 90 minutes. Like I don't know. I think I saw it at the right age to just really like it. But I also understand that people would find it boring or just like kind of almost not as advertised. Scream Factory also announced part 3, which this hasn't had like any release since DVD. Even this is I think I bought like this bootleg at like a Monster Mania or like a Chiller Theater just because I had never even seen part 3 and I was like, well, how bad could it be? The other 2 are pretty good. I will not be buying Scream Factory's Night of the Demons 3 because this movie fucking sucks. Like this is terrible. And I don't know, bless all the souls that are, going to be filling Scream Factory's pockets by buying part 3 on Blu-ray just to complete their collection. And I get it. I'm a collector myself, but like this movie is not that good. So I'll just stick with this burnt ass DVD. But anyway, to those, you give it less than a 4, we're through. I'm trying to think of what I would give Night of the Demons, the original one. I'm usually more generous with horror movies than I am everything else, just because, like, dude, I grew up watching this shit, and to me, it's like it's part of my DNA, almost like what made me who I am. But Night of the Demons, I don't know, man. I'd give it like, this is being very generous, like a 7.6 out of 10. It's not one of my favorite horror movies by any means, but it's very unique. At least in my opinion, it's like a haunted house. Don't tell her, but it's a 3.75. Dude, that's fair. I guess that kind of like is almost the same as like what I would rate it. It's good. I only like really like it a lot because I grew up watching it. And I've also like met a ton of the cast. I don't know why. It's like I haven't met like anyone from like a lot of my favorite movies, but I went out of my way to have like a lot of Night of the Demon shit signed. Like I met Angela, obviously, Linnea Quigley, and what's his name? The dude who has the pig nose. I forget the actor's name, so forgive me for that. But all really cool people, and I don't know. What else? What else did I want to talk about? I can't remember because that Universal thing really burned me out, man. I can't believe they struck down a live video. Apparently, if I stuck it out and just stayed live, I eventually would have been turned back on once the content was over. Well, fuck them. What else did they? Oh, Scream Factory is also putting out Pumpkinhead on 4K, which I've had the same old blown out DVD for that movie and never upgraded to a Blu-ray for it. So I, for once, am hyped. I don't already have it because now I can just buy the 4K and not feel like I'm wasting my money. But anyway, so to recap in this part 2, altogether, we've talked about Exorcist Believer, which looks honestly better than I thought it would. Still looks like it's probably going to suck. We talked about the Saw X trailer, which is, again, it's one of those things. If you like the Saw movies, you're probably going to like this one, The trailer looked okay. It looked like all the rest of the shit that they've been putting out. We talked about Sisu. Watch Sisu. Even if you have to rent it, it's so good. Especially if you like revenge, B, exploitation type movies. It's just, that's all it is, except taking place in 1944. It is, it's great. I vaguely talked about Air. If you like dramas, Air is great. Fascinating story, great acting. We talked about 65. If you like dinosaur movies, I guess check it out, but don't get your hopes up for a lot of dinosaur action. It just kind of kind of a letdown in that regard. Or if you like Adam Driver, check it out. Otherwise, I'd skip that one. I never need to see that movie again, and I'm fine with it. What else did we talk about here? I talked a little bit about Scream 6, about how it kind of is not as good as I remembered, which is fine. It was whatever. An Old Man. If you like Lucky McKee's movies, I suggest checking it out. If you like Stephen Lang, definitely check it out. It's more of a character study than like a visual type movie, but it's pretty good. If you can stomach the lots and lots of dialogue and get through the boring for the payoff, it's good. I don't know how often I'd rewatch that movie, but it's still pretty good. Anyway, we also talked about the new Hellraiser 4Ks coming out, the new Night of the Demons that are coming out. But anyway, anyone who stuck around, came back to this part too, just to let me finish. That's really all I wanted to do, was just finish up. I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. If you only are just checking this video out, this is a part 2. Go to the first one and see Universal cut the stream, but you can see all the stuff we were talking about at first. And whatever. Anyway, hopefully we can do more of these. Vicky and I have just been like super busy. My job just had like a huge anniversary, so I've been hella busy with like packing online orders and things like that, and just like doing random events at work. So I just haven't had the time, especially like to like film a video and edit it. I just didn't have the time to sit behind my computer and do it. So that's why I wanted to do this live, is just kind of get something out there. Like, didn't forget about you guys, but like I said, we don't get paid for this. Like, I just do it for fun because I like doing it, which is another reason, like, why the fuck did Universal cut this out? It's not like I'm getting paid. Anyway, you guys have a great Sunday. Thank you for watching if you did, and if you stuck around, you guys are the best. And until next time, love you guys. You take care. Adios.
See ya.